Hey everyone, it's Chris Stuckman and welcome back to the channel. If you're like me, you crave thought-provoking, visually stunning, and emotionally resonant science fiction. Films that transport you to other worlds and leave you contemplating the universe. But sometimes it feels like we've seen it all. We've explored space with Ripley, battled Cylons with Adama, and pondered reality with Neo. So where do you turn for something fresh and unique? Today we're diving into hidden gems of sci-fi cinema. These films might not have had the biggest budgets, but they shine with originality and brilliance. Get ready to expand your watch list with the top 5 underrated sci-fi movies you've probably never seen. These films will surprise you, challenge you, and maybe even become your new favorites. Let's do this. First up, we have a film that'll take you on a captivating journey to the desolate yet strangely beautiful landscape of our moon. Released in 2009, Moon, directed by Duncan Jones, is a masterclass in minimalist sci-fi storytelling. Sometimes all you need is one man, a lunar base, and a healthy dose of existential dread. Sam Rockwell delivers a powerhouse performance as Sam Bell, a solitary astronaut nearing the end of his 3-year contract. His only companion is Gertie, a sentient AI voiced by Kevin Spacey. As Sam counts down the days to his return, unsettling events unfold, causing him to question his reality. The film meticulously builds tension and suspense as Sam delves deeper into the mystery. The visual effects are stunningly realistic, creating a believable lunar environment. Now, if you've seen Moon, you know there's a lot more going on beneath the surface. The film grapples with profound themes of identity, corporate greed, and the human cost of technological advancement. It asks us to consider what it truly means to be human, especially in the face of isolation and the potential for artificial consciousness. Is our identity solely defined by our memories and experiences, or is there something more, something inherently human, that transcends our physical forms? Moon often draws comparisons to Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and for good reason. Both films explore the awe-inspiring vastness of space while simultaneously delving into the depths of human consciousness. They force us to confront our place in the universe and the ethical implications of our technological advancements. And like 2001, Moon leaves you with more questions than answers, sparking endless debates and interpretations long after the credits roll. But even if you are not in the mood for existential pondering, Moon still delivers as a gripping and suspenseful thriller. The film keeps you guessing until the very end, constantly subverting expectations and delivering some truly mind-bending twists and turns. Moon is a film that stays with you long after you've seen it. It's a haunting, thought-provoking, and ultimately hopeful film that cements Duncan Jones as a visionary director with a unique voice in the sci-fi genre. And for my money, Sam Rockwell delivers a career-defining performance, conveying a range of emotions with subtlety and nuance. He makes you feel Sam's isolation, his confusion, and ultimately, his determination to uncover the truth. So, if you're looking for a sci-fi film that's more than just spaceships and explosions, a film that will stay with you long after the credits roll, then I urge you to check out Moon. It's a modern classic that deserves a much wider audience. Next up, we're traveling back to Earth, diving into a story that spans millennia. The Man from Earth, directed by Richard Schenkman, proves you don't need a big budget to tell a captivating story. The film takes place in a single room, relying on dialogue and a mind-blowing premise. John Oldman, played by David Lee Smith, is a professor moving on to a new life. At his farewell party, John reveals he's a 14,000-year-old Cro-Magnon man. His colleagues react with skepticism, amusement, and hostility. As John recounts his experiences, disbelief turns to possibility. The Man from Earth is a film that lives and breathes on the strength of its dialogue. It's essentially a stage play captured on film, with the majority of the runtime dedicated to conversations between John and his colleagues. But these aren't your typical dinner party conversations. John's claims spark heated debates about history, religion, philosophy, and the very nature of belief. What makes the film so compelling is that it never forces you to take sides. It presents John's story as a possibility, a thought experiment that challenges you to confront your own beliefs and assumptions. Could a man really live for thousands of years? What would it be like to witness the rise and fall of civilizations, the birth of religions, the evolution of humanity? These are just a few of the questions that the Man from Earth poses, and it's up to the viewer to grapple with the implications. The film is also a testament to the power of minimalist filmmaking. With its limited setting and small cast of characters, The Man from Earth proves that you don't need flashy visuals or expensive set pieces to tell a compelling story. All you need is a good script, talented actors, and a director who understands the power of suggestion and implication. Now, I'll be honest, The Man from Earth is not a film for everyone. It's a slow burn, a film that unfolds gradually, relying on dialogue and character development rather than action or special effects. But for those willing to engage with its ideas, it's a truly rewarding experience. It's a film that will stay with you long after you've seen it, prompting you to question everything you thought you knew about history, humanity, and the nature of existence itself. So, if you're in the mood for a sci-fi film that's more cerebral than visceral, a film that will challenge your intellect and spark your imagination, then I highly recommend checking out The Man from Earth. It's a hidden gem that deserves to be discovered and discussed for years to come. And hey, if you're a fan of movies that make you think, this one's definitely worth adding to your watch list. Okay, so you've probably heard of multiverses by now. It's everywhere, right? Marvel's doing it, indie films are doing it, even is in on the action. But before the multiverse became, well, there was this little indie gem called This is one of those movies that proves you don't need a massive budget or CGI explosions to tell a compelling sci-fi story. The setup is deceptively simple. A group of friends get together for a dinner party, just like any other night. Except there's a comet passing by. And we all know that when comets get involved in movies, things tend to get a little weird. But trust me, you won't be prepared for the kind of weird throws at you. See, this isn't your typical alien invasion or time travel story. It takes a more psychological approach to the multiverse concept. As the comet passes, strange things start happening, and the group begins to realize that they might not be alone in their reality anymore. What I love about it is how it captures that feeling of paranoia and uncertainty. The film does an incredible job of building tension slowly, using subtle details and unsettling events to keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the kind of movie that gets under your skin and stays with you long after the credits roll. Okay, so you've probably heard of multiverses by now. Marvel's doing it, indie films are doing it, even is in on the action. But before the multiverse craze, there was this indie gem. It proves you don't need a massive budget for compelling sci-fi. A group of friends gather for a dinner party just like any other night. Except, there's a comet passing by. And we all know that when comets get involved in movies, things get a little weird. But trust me, you won't be prepared for the kind of weird throws at you. It's not your typical alien invasion or time travel story. It takes a psychological approach to the multiverse. As the comet passes, strange things start happening, and the group realizes they might not be alone in their reality anymore. What I love about is how it captures that feeling of paranoia and uncertainty. The film builds tension slowly, using subtle details and unsettling events to keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the kind of movie that gets under your skin and stays with you long after the credits roll. Now, I don't want to spoil too much, but let's just say things get complicated. As the lines between realities blur, the characters confront their identities and make tough choices. The film plays with themes of choice and consequence. The entire story takes place in one location, and the characters are all ordinary people caught in an extraordinary situation. You're right there with them, trying to piece together what's real and what's not. One of the things that impressed me most about was the acting. The cast is made up of relatively unknown actors, but they all deliver incredibly naturalistic performances. You really believe that these are old friends who've known each other for years, which makes their descent into chaos all the more believable. And speaking of chaos, the film does a fantastic job of creating a sense of unease and dread. The cinematography is often dark and claustrophobic, mirroring the characters' growing paranoia. The soundtrack is equally effective, using eerie sound design and minimalist music to heighten the tension. Is a prime example of how to do low-budget sci-fi right. It proves that you don't need fancy special effects or big-name stars to tell a compelling and thought-provoking story. All you need is a good script, a talented cast, and a director with a vision. If you're tired of the same old sci-fi tropes and you're looking for something truly unique and mind-bending, I highly recommend checking out. Just be prepared to have your brain thoroughly scrambled. It's the kind of movie that will stay with you long after you've seen it, and you might even find yourself wanting to watch it again just to catch all the details you missed the first time around. Okay, strap yourselves in for this one because we're diving into the world of independent cinema with Primer. This is a movie that throws you right into the deep end of time travel without any floaties. It's a film that demands your attention, but trust me, the payoff is worth it. Primer was made on a shoestring budget, shot on 16mm film, and it has this raw, almost documentary-like feel that just adds to its authenticity. The story follows two engineers who accidentally invent a time machine in their garage. Yeah, you heard that right, their garage. But this isn't your typical time travel romp. There's no DeLorean, no phone booths, no hot tub time machines. This is time travel explored through a hardcore scientific lens, and it gets complicated fast. We're talking diagrams, equations, and enough technobabble to make your head spin. But here's the thing, even if you don't fully grasp the science behind it, and let's be honest, who really could on the first watch? The film still works because it's really a story about these two guys and how this incredible discovery tests their friendship, their ambition, and their sanity. Now, Primer is a film that requires multiple viewings. It's dense, it's layered, and it's full of these little details that you might miss on the first go-around. But that's part of the fun. Every time you watch it, you pick up on something new. Another piece of the puzzle falls into place. See, director Shane Carruth, who also wrote, directed, starred in, and edited the film, talk about wearing a lot of hats. He wasn't afraid to challenge his audience. He throws you into this complex narrative and trusts that you'll keep up. And you know what? It's refreshing. In a world of spoon-fed blockbusters, Primer is a film that respects your intelligence. It doesn't insult your intelligence by over-explaining everything. It lets you work things out for yourself, and that's what makes it so rewarding. So, if you're looking for a film that will really make you think, a film that will spark debate and discussion long after the credits have rolled, then you need to check out Primer. It's a true hidden gem of independent sci-fi filmmaking. One of the things I really appreciate about Primer is how it uses its low-budget limitations to its advantage. The grainy film stock, the minimalist aesthetic, it all adds to the film's sense of realism. You really feel like you're watching these events unfold in real time, which makes the tension and paranoia all the more palpable. And the performances. Shane Carruth and David Sullivan, who play the two leads, deliver these incredibly nuanced and believable performances. These are just ordinary guys caught up in extraordinary circumstances, and you really feel their struggle to comprehend and control the forces they've unleashed. Primer is a film that stays with you long after you've seen it. It gets under your skin, it makes you question everything you thought you knew about time travel, and it might even make you want to dust off your old physics textbook. So, if you're tired of the same old time travel tropes, if you're looking for something truly original, something that will challenge you both intellectually and emotionally, then I urge you to seek out Primer. It's a film that deserves to be seen, talked about, and dissected. And who knows, you might even understand it better than I do after a few viewings. From one mind-bending time travel thriller to another, we now jump to Predestination, a film that takes the complexities of time travel and weaves them into a tightly wound narrative knot. Seriously, this movie is a masterclass in cause and effect, paradoxes, and the very nature of free will. Based on a short story by the legendary Robert Heinlein, Predestination stars Ethan Hawke as a temporal agent, a time-traveling detective who hops through decades to prevent crimes before they occur. You with me so far? Good, because it gets wilder from here. Hawke's character is tasked with stopping a particularly elusive criminal known as the Fizzle Bomber, and his pursuit takes him on a twisting, turning journey through time. But as he gets closer to his target, he uncovers a web of interconnected events and shocking revelations that call into question everything he thought he knew. Section 2. Identity Crisis Now, I'm going to tread lightly here because I don't want to spoil any of the film's many twists and turns. And trust me, you don't want this movie spoiled. Half the fun is piecing together the puzzle alongside Ethan Hawke's character. But I will say this, Predestination explores the idea of predestination versus free will in a way that few films have dared to tackle. It asks the question, if you could go back in time and change your past, would you? And more importantly, should you? The film also delves into themes of identity, particularly how our past experiences shape who we become. And without giving anything away, let's just say that the concept of identity gets really complicated in this film, like seriously complicated. Visually, Predestination is stunning. The film seamlessly blends gritty realism with stylized visuals, creating a world that feels both familiar and strangely alien. And the special effects, while used sparingly, are incredibly effective, especially during the time travel sequences. But it's the film's ending that will really blow your mind. Without spoiling anything, I will say that it's one of those endings that makes you want to immediately re-watch the entire film just to pick up on all the clues you might have missed. Predestination is a film that will stay with you long after the credits have rolled. It's a film that demands to be discussed, debated, and dissected. It's a film that will make you question everything you thought you knew about time travel, identity, and the very nature of reality itself. Unknown. And as always, thanks for watching.